say it all the time. Never gets old. Backwards audio that isn't talking about the devil. That's what I'm talking about. Love walks in through the door. That's it, backwards. For those of you joining us for the first time, I don't have permission to play that forwards without them tapping in to our cheddar. And I don't want them to take our cheddar, but I do want the song. So if you know somebody in the band, ask Thunder if we can have it.
They only took a year's worth of coin, dude.
What?
Years. They took a year's worth of our coin.
Totally, bro. That's coin. That's cheddar. That's cash. They took.
I like
it.
when people
Brett
call them bones.
Yeah, bones. We could have invested that money. No.
I like that you guys are talking about money like you're 40s gangsters.
We are. Speaking of, don't talk till you're introduced.
Sorry.
Evan.
My bad.
The fuck. All right. Stop. It is the Yeah Come On show 117. And right now, I want to introduce myself, Southside Steve.
Hey.
Your host. That is my co-host, Brett Barney. And Brett Barney's co-host, which would be my co-host, Evan Avansky. You want your last name out there?
You can say the last name. That's cool. Can you pronounce my last name?
No.
Oh, this is a great test.
Shanansky, Evan Bobrovsky, Evansky. I just call you Avansky. I know it's probably wrong. I know your first name's Evan, but what last name did your parents give you?
Brandonisio is the one I inherited, and it is a crazy Italian last name. So if you look at it on the paper.
Brandonisio?
Yeah, Brandonisio.
Did I get it right?
Maybe in one of you. Yeah, Brandon.
Brandon Isio.
Yeah.
Brandon Isio.
Yeah. It looks like somebody spilled a bag of Scrabble letters. It's a bunch of,
All that tells me is your mother drinks red wine, your father's probably bald, and you have hair on your back.
White wine, full head of hair, actually, but I do have hair on my back.
Bingo.
Okay. Not your fault. You can shave that. Maybe one day we will. But I want to welcome Evan to the show. We had a situation. Those of you that may have heard, our videographer walked on us.
Ooh.
And he walked with everything. He took everything from me. Left me nothing.
I wouldn't let him take me, Southside.
I know you wouldn't, Brett. I got to keep you. I got you for life. God knows. Evan's working on that life goal to where I look at you and I'm like, he'll always be with me. Right now, I say that about Brett. He'll always be with me. But I want to thank you for coming in with your technology, your beautiful head of hair. And the fact that you wore a button down your first day on air, and that means a lot to me. You're professional.
I wanted to class it up a little bit,
Yeah. And people that don't realize, Evan is no stranger to the airwaves. He has done afternoons on Rock 100.5. He has worked with me on mornings on Rock 100.5. He does promotions on Rock 100.5. Is there anything I'm leaving out that you've done?
Did a local music show on 99X.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, are these boys qualified? Brett, just so we can refresh everybody, tell everybody what you've done besides men.
Okay, so 1A, men. 1B, manly men. I'm talking grizzly bears. No,
truckers. I know truckers. I got you.
Country music, rock, news, investigative, criminal stuff, putting people in jail who are probably already in jail. And then I sit here and I come up with really weird ideas for me to sit on your lap in a Santa suit, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Which is, dude, you're talking about him. Look at me sweating. You want to talk about bringing class? Bro.
Look at that. He gets nervous, Evan. Every time we do a podcast, he gets nervous. Now he's showing his wife, who he just married months ago, that she's made a mistake.
He committed to those pits.
Yeah. And here's the reason I said that you might be doing men. It's the one thing that I can't help notice. I look at Evan. He's coiffed. It looks like he ran his hands through his hair. Got a little James Dean splash of Elvis going on. And then I look at you and I see your stocking hat, and it makes me think that you're in the woods attacking men and at a truck stop. And it's the hat. It's the hat.
What is this?
A lot of heavy lifting.
There's something about Mary. No, you can't have 6-minute abs. You can only have 7-minute abs. What is this? Come on now. I'm not Harlan Williams.
I just love the hat. It's pulled down to not hunting style or just a kid throwing, snowballs at each other. It's creepy. Now it's
You look like
pulled
you're
back.
smoking a brand of cigarette no one's ever heard of.
Yes. and it's a menthol. And where he comes from, and where he comes from, that is what people use for fresh breath.
Hey man, you ain't got to brush your teeth if the gum says it'll whiten it for you.
That's true.
That's
1 out
it.
of 10 doctors agree.
So tell us, Brett, right here on the Yeah Come On show, which is sponsored, which we're probably losing 2 sponsors right now, but that's okay. I don't care. We're going to push through. Tell us about your hat.
Okay, so I wore this hat for a reason, and I have a bit of an issue. It's going to kind of be my Brett's brain. This whole cancel Carhartt thing is driving me bananas. I don't know if you guys are following this very much, but basically what it is Carhartt is I would like to say a blue collar brand. It was something that I sold a lot when I worked in the hunting goods store in college. It was something I wore a lot. I've been wearing it since I was 16. I don't know. I would say a lot of guys that listen to the show, women, doesn't matter, who work in construction or like to hunt, things like that, they probably wear Carhartt. They make great clothing for it.
Oh,
now something has.
I have a jacket from them.
Bingo.
Yeah, my camping jacket.
And you're one of the assholes ruining this, probably.
I am.
I would assume
No,
so.
Don't go after him. He can't.
no.
Okay, hold on. I had the pants. The pants are durable. They're thick. And the material lasts, and it can get beat up a little bit. So I will say the pants and the jacket, very durable. Good old boys wear them, and if they got a little rip in it, then they're even cooler. I get it.
Yeah. So you understand that that's what this brand is all about. It's a family-owned brand. It always has been. Now you have all these Instagram influencers, these chicks with, banana cannons and wearing basically nothing, wearing Carhartt gear. And that's all they wear. The little hats like this, which, surprise, you can't even get this style anymore because it's 16 years old. They're much nicer now. This one's kind of crappy being this old, but I'm still wearing it just for a purpose. So I don't understand why we need to cancel Carhartt, because all these women are starting to wear this and post pictures in it. So I wanted to pitch to you guys maybe a few other clothing brands we could try and deflect these influencers towards, to get them to wear those and cancel those so we can keep our Carhartt.
Wait, let me get this straight. People are boycotting it because now it's trendy. Like Instagram influencers are wearing it. Is that right?
Yes, the blue collar folks, we do not like the trendy styles.
Right, I totally get that. Totally get that.
You would never see us in Ed Hardy.
We're talking girls who are buying like a $50 dessert, take one bite, picture on Instagram, throw it out, right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know this was such a thing. I will tell you, you're exactly right. My brothers both wear the Carhartt. Both are hardworking guys, work with their hands. I do not. When I wear Carhartt, it's posing, and I'm doing it because it's a brand name. I'm not going to lie.
Steve is one of the influencers.
Yes, if I was going camping with you guys, I would go out and get a Carhartt jacket just so I would look durable, and I would wear it, and then I would come home going, I don't know when I'm going to wear this again, but I'll hang it in the closet, and then whenever I go camping again, I'll wear it again. But I have something for every little thing. Whereas some guys, you're right, wear this every day. They wear it out to lunch. They wear it to work. They get the same guys that have those boots that you slip on with no design. I don't know what those boots are. Both my brothers wear them. They're the slip-on like cowboy boots. I bet Brett has a pair, and he's going to get them
right now.
There you go. That boot goes with Carhartt. So I get it. I didn't know it was a problem. So what if hot chicks are wearing it? Why is it getting canceled?
Make it even worse. I work in radio and steel toe.
Yeah,
why I need them steel toe? Who knows?
Well, you never know when you're going to drop your heavy headset on your little toes, and it'll protect you.
No, but yeah.
Maybe no. Show me your microphone. Now, if that hit your foot, you're going to need a steel toe. Look at that. That's a beer can. And look at the way he holds it. He can handle it.
Very delicately. He's very familiar with that.
I think I got it. There we go. Okay. Got to cradle it. All right, there.
There you
go. Perfect.
I'm going to tell you something. What you're holding right now, you think I'm going to make a penis joke, but I'm not.
I'm ready for a penis joke.
Yeah, there was a kid. His name was Patrick. I won't give his last name because you'll know who he is. Or he'll find out that I talked about him. And I don't want to get sued by a kid that's now 50, but when I knew him, he was 6. He was my little brother's friend. They went to kindergarten together. He came over and he left that exact size. Show it again, Brett. That was in our toilet.
Oh no.
His poop was exactly, not over exaggerating, not under exaggerating. His poop was that, and it was sitting in our toilet out of water like a missile had just hit and not exploded. And my dad's like, Helen, I don't know if we can flush it. No toilet paper either. The kid didn't have to wipe, and that came out of his butt. And his
Didn't
mom
have to,
says,
or just didn't, or just toughed it
maybe,
out.
It was
don't
so
know
big it wiped
which.
for him.
No, which. And I looked at my brother, go, he's in kindergarten. How does a little kid? And his mom goes, somehow he gets it out. It's very painful. He doesn't go to the bathroom for like 3 weeks at a time. And when he does, this is what happens. And it to this day has been one of the grossest moments, because my dad had to take a coat hanger and bang it up just to get it to flush. And I was in there with my dad. I'm immature. I'm 12 or 11, and I'm laughing, going, fake throw up. The kid hears me, knows it's his poop that we're dealing with. He's crying. It was a sad situation. His mom has to come pick him up because he is embarrassed. But that's what it reminds me of, not a penis.
In retrospect, would you make that trade? 3 weeks? You take one huge poop every 3 weeks?
I'm a man on the go. I think I would if I could get it out.
That's what I'm thinking.
I would.
Yeah, I was like, hate. I'd save a lot of time.
Keep moving.
All I'm thinking about is I hadn't had one of these in a while, but I had one about a week ago, and I called the wife in. I was turtle walking. You got to see this. You got to.
Honey, come take a picture.
I took a picture and held a deodorant stick in the toilet just for comparison of size, and it was absurd.
Way to go. That's an out of water. If you do an out of water, you got to take a picture. If you can create an island, then you've done something. That's masterful. Well, so I apologize. We have a Carhartt issue. So
yeah, right. We're trying to pivot to.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of ways that we can get these influencers, I guess, like Southside Steve here, to wear something that everyone's going to think's cool. And that way we can deflect the attention away from Carhartt, so I can go back to wearing this and not looking like a chotch bag, even though I had it on before chotch baggery was ever a thing. So here are my 2 pitches. And if you guys can think of any other clothing brands, I would happily love for you guys to jump on board. First thing, I don't mind us ruining other than Carhartt. I'm talking polo shirts with the big horses.
The big horse, the worst.
The real big horses.
Big horse. I don't need a detailed horse. I got it. A cool minimal polo. Good. I like it. When you've got, like, you can see the horse itself and the jockey, and he's got a different colored shirt, and the horse's eyes are there. Like, I don't want to make eye contact with your polo shirt.
No, polo man nor the horse are supposed to have eyes. I agree. When I see those big things too, I'm like, that might be the tackiest thing. So totally backing you on that. That is like one of the worst styles ever. I know some people wear them where they're little, they're not so big. They're about this big.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the number, like the number 4,
number
3 on their arm. It's kind of weird to have the number on the arm. I'm like, have you ever played polo? Do you ride? It's kind of like the ultimate poser. It's like the guy that wears a leather vest everywhere, but has never been on a motorcycle. I don't know.
I would say I've played a lot of sports, and I don't wear the clothing of that sport when I'm just out in public. I will also say the other one that I wouldn't mind them ruining. So let's make these hot guys, big polo horses, rugby polos, like Old Navy rugby polos.
Oh, those are cool.
You can ruin that all you want.
I like those.
What about Tommy Hilfiger? Could we trade that, since Brando loves the polo?
The big Tommy,
the big Tommy stuff. Not
I don't even know what
Tommy,
that is.
The big. Oh, you don't? Is that from my day? Oh,
it
God.
might be. Hang on, I'm gonna Google it.
It was the it would have been the late 80s, early 90s. That was a thing. The Tommy, it has like a little crest, and they usually had, like, I had a long sleeve shirt where the collar was striped green. This part was burgundy. This part was yellow. The back was blue, and a sleeve was pink.
You know, actually, Steve, I think you're on. I think these guys are going to be after this next, because the other two clothing brands I was thinking of are like the Thrasher shirts from a couple years ago. Those got huge. And then the Champion stuff, you know, the crappy, like, that got huge. That stuff is expensive now to just get like a regular Champion sweater, you know, with like.
Oh, you're exactly right. Champion was the knockoff logo. And all of a sudden, you're right, it got hot. Now it's expensive. Like, if you saw somebody in Champion, definitely like 2002 through like 2012, you know, in the gym, I would see people wearing it. And I'm like, okay, what's up, man? It's like worse than Puma or Reebok. It's like, oh, you got Champion. Now it is terribly expensive. And I have some old Champion stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm cool. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
You just gotta wait. Like Brett, the hat kind of came into fashion the wrong way, but like your old
Yeah.
clothes, if you just sit on them, you can invest in them.
I know that I just want to be the guy that brings back Von Dutch hats, so I'm kind of sitting on that one. I don't want to ruin that, so we'll keep that one on the DO. Because I will bring it back. I'm going to be Ashton Kutcher 2.5.
Speaking of Ashton Kutcher, the clothing brand I was thinking of that we could maybe pivot to. Do you guys remember him?
Ooh.
It was like, it was Bam Margera's clothing brand. And I was like,
oh, yes.
Right. Yeah. This is not a loss for anyone. If we could just get them on that, they can be happy. They can have their retro clothes and nobody loses.
No, I barely remember that. I think I do now that you mentioned the Von Dutch cracked me up, but the him, I vaguely remember that. That's good. That's way good. What's another one? I'm trying to think. Right around that time frame that were just sad. Oh, I know. What was the one that was the California? It was for like 19 to 25-year-olds. I even had one of the shirts. It was a store.
Quicksilver.
What?
Quicksilver.
No, not. Hold on. That's my day.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver's still
Yeah.
cool. Still
I
cool.
had Quicksilver stuff.
Everybody ease up on Quicksilver. We're not ruining that. I actually have a Quicksilver baby bag that my wife got me for my son Brooks. I was wearing it last night over one shoulder too, not two, one shoulder. Quicksilver. Hey, how you doing? I'm an 80s guy with an infant. That's who I am. I stand by it. Leave Quicksilver alone. No, it was at California. Was it California something? It just said California. Maybe was that it?
Aeropostale.
No,
I think you're pronouncing that really, really hard.
Yeah, I don't think I've got the right. It'll hit me, but I had some of it, and my wife's like, "Oh, you got to get rid of that. College kids wear that." And I went, "Okay." I like the shirt though. It was one of those like brown, and then faded to a darker color, and had like a bird on it, and had that word, whatever the word I can't think of on it. And I was like, it looked good on me, guys.
Hollister.
Thank you. Where am I going with California? You nailed it. It's Hollister. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. But I guess it's out of California is where it started. And maybe that's why I'm thinking Hollister.
I have no idea. The last time I saw somebody wear Hollister, I think I was in middle school.
It's gonna come back though, like any of these. It's gonna be real weird when like the middle
I did it
school, high school-
2004, 5, and 6. So if I was a douche, I'll take it. I didn't mean to be.
Those were my high school years. So that seems about copacetic.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I was still too old for it. So, all right, we've brought up some things that could be worn just to back off Carhartt. All right.
Thank you.
Could we potentially do Ed Hardy and get rid of it once and for all? Is that, or do we think that like the people that like Ed Hardy have such a firm grip on it that it's like never going to be taken away?
They should actually dig a deep grave and put every Ed Hardy shirt in it, like ever made, like just bury it and then pour cement on it so nobody digs it up.
What is it, Jimmy Hoffa?
I don't know. It's about that bad though, isn't it? I mean, think about it. It's bad.
Yeah, led the Teamsters.
Yeah.
Wait, like a button-up shirt with embroidered dice and playing cards on it?
Whoa. Now that is my style.
No. To me, that is like the flashy bowler. I don't like it.
Ooh, a flashy bowler. I want to dress like I'm Guy Fieri. I'm changing my tune here.
Jeez. The worst shirts in the world. That Tommy Bahama too. My father-in-law came out in a Tommy Bahama shirt and had some like khaki shorts that went with it, and I'm like, dude, I said, I don't think you're getting laid, and you're married to her. I don't think you're getting laid. You can't wear that. Can't. But there's some bad clothes that have been made. We'll agree. But Carhartt's not bad clothes. I think the guys that wear it, it looks pretty cool. I'll give you thumbs up, Brett. So way to go.
Yeah. They're going to be wearing Bass Pro Shop hats or something soon and putting like the little fish hooks in the side.
Yeah. I think the thing I'll say is if you're someone who is worried about the influencers ruining this, don't worry. They will move on to any of these other things we just talked about in like 5 months. You just stay the course, like the same you have been for 20 years.
Be you. Own it. Own, just like I own the Quicksilver. Okay.
Exactly.
I own it. I was wearing it at 18, 17. I was wearing the cool shorts, going out to the beach, thinking I was cool. East Coast posing as West Coast, looking for a wave in Panama City. And I find myself basically hanging out on a lake that tastes salty. It's okay. No waves, but I dealt with it. I'm not talking about a chick. I'm talking about nobody. Matter of fact, let's just qualify that since we're doing a podcast. Nobody should have a taste. If you have a taste, there's something bad wrong. It should be like water. tasteless and odorless, the nether regions of both a man and a woman. Can we agree?
We've
Yes.
agreed on this before.
100%.
We've had
But
this
I got-
discussion.
I know you and I have. I'm qualifying Evan, seeing if he's muster. If he's
No,
got the
I'm with
muster.
you. I don't, I was once hooking up, maybe the hottest girl I've ever hooked up with in college. And
Yeah.
it was a funk that I was like, I cannot push past this.
No.
I can't, you know?
There is a girl, and I interacted with her yesterday because she was my high school sweetheart. There's a situation, and she'd been out, and they'd been doing a photo shoot all day long. You know, she's in the band. She was like, drill team cheerleader kind of thing.
Mhm.
You pull those pants down, and you do what every man's supposed to do at 18 in a car, where at any moment somebody could walk up and look at what you're doing, and you take that chance. It's danger sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm third basing, and I was like, and I literally gagged not once but twice, and a little bit of throw up came out
Whoa.
on her, and I'm like, I'm sorry, and I had to act like I was drunk and was queasy. I couldn't tell the
Yeah,
truth.
because you would
Later,
never. I don't want to be the one to tell you that, you know.
well, it was a day. It wasn't her fault. She'd been sweaty and she hadn't taken care of it, and maybe she hadn't showered the morning before. I don't know. I just knew what I was dealing with was wrong, and it hadn't been wrong a week before. So I basically brought up the word. I brought up the word no man should bring up to another woman. I'm like, have you thought about Massengale? I said, do you know what douche is?
Ooh,
I brought it
boy.
up. We didn't talk for about 5 days, but I literally thought, well, maybe you just need to, because she liked that. And I'm like, I'm scared. I can't go down again like that. I will die. And so I brought it up, and it was probably one of the worst things I ever could do. I think it's what led to the end of our relationship, to be honest with you.
Oh, you
So,
think that was?
yeah.
That was it. See, and then knowing me, I have to be the contrarian. So I guess I like my honey baked ham with a little glaze. So
Jesus, Brett.
let's go.
I'm not kidding you. It's like,
Brett likes it like KFC, just with a secret blend of herbs and spices.
I did have a roommate. He goes, man, if it ain't got no flavor, it ain't worth it. I'm like, what? Who says that? That's not even a saying. Nobody goes around and goes, hey, man, if it don't taste, it ain't worth it. Nobody says that.
Yeah, I think that old chestnut was from Ben Franklin. It's a real common. I mean, it rhymes, so it's got to be true.
Saw it on a bumper sticker in PCB.
God dang. Oh,
That's the state motto of PCB.
I know. I'm like,
City
I'm
motto,
sure
whatever.
anybody listening right now, I just want to apologize to females. We're not going to war on you. I know about sack sweat. It's
It gets way worse down there, I think.
Yeah. Men are so much worse. Men are dogs. We're gross. I get it. Our testicles are outside of our body. It's all gross. I just want to apologize to women. It's just certain women. Maybe it's like an armpit. Every once in a while it can get smelly if you haven't taken care of it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'll leave it there.
Oh my God.
I think we need to transition to this baseball discussion.
Do you want to do a
Perfect
commercial
timing.
break?
Let's do commercials and talk a little baseball.
All right, we're going to come back. Two things. We've got a new segment. Evan explains, if we come up with questions where Evan can explain it, because he's the young man on the show. Brett, you're still young, but you're married now. And Evan's single. I don't even know, Evan, if you have a steady right now, but I do know you're in your 20s, which tells me you should not have a steady, but you might.
I do have a steady, unfortunately.
What the fuck?
I know.
But I tell you, the good news is, though, that you still have your ear to the ground and can tell us maybe things that we don't get, or even our listeners don't get. We're coming to you for your hipster knowledge, and we're going to talk about baseball and steroids. Is it an old subject? Not now. It's not. It's a new subject all over again because of what's happening in the world. The Yeah Come On Show will be right back. First, I want to say thank you to joebees.com, or you can call Joe Bees at 877-300-5632. Joe Bees is bee pollen, 100%. I'm not kidding you. This is serious business. Anybody? That's pretty funny, wasn't it? Okay, thank you. Serious business. It's 100% bee pollen, not made in a laboratory, straight from nature, and it can help you in so many different ways. So get on the bee pollen. OxygenFinancial.com with Ted Jenkins for all your financial needs. If you're looking to invest, Want to talk about Bitcoin? Whatever, he's there for you. Circle285.com. They will save your butt. Maybe you've been loyal to an insurance company for way too long on your automobile, or maybe you have a home and you want to link something together. Get the best possible price, the best possible company with a free quote. And it is a free quote from circle285.com. And lastly, Dr. Dave Markwell, Ridgeline Counseling. Dr. Dave, we love you. He can fix you. He can fix you in person, or he can fix you on Zoom. He can help you be a better citizen and deal with whatever you're dealing with, because there's not anybody any of us have ever met that couldn't use a little bit of talking to. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not implying either one of you. We're back with the Yeah Come On show. Again, this is episode 117, and we're going to get into a hot topic, one that got talked about this morning in radio. It got talked about all over the country. We're talking about the Hall. We're talking about the ultimate for the baseball players. Who should be in? Who should be out? Did somebody just get in on their first year of eligibility? And is somebody else not in after 10 years that has a certain record? Brett, take it away.
Okay, so Big Papi gets in first round, and I have my theories on this. I think, one, it's that he works in the media. I think, two, it's he was shot several times 2 years ago. That grew his street cred a little bit. That helped him get in immediately. But he is a very lovable person. Not to mention, he's also the first one that spoke after the Boston bombing, which I think is a very iconic speech where he dropped the F word on live TV. I don't know.
That was intense, and people cheered it, and he didn't
Yeah.
catch any hell for that. You know, I mean, there's other words he could have used, but yeah, for all the children, he F-bombed it. And I was like, wow, that's intense. And he did it with an accent.
I think that's the only way he knows how to do it. But yes, Big Papi got in. I don't know if he ever did steroids. I don't know if he's all natural. He just seems like a pretty large human. So, and that's just how some people are built. But you have people, what, Kurt Schilling, Barry Bonds, several people, steroids questionable, not getting in after their 10-year window. What do you guys think? Should they be in the Hall of Fame, not be in the Hall of Fame? Asterisks? What do you think?
What do you think, Evan?
It's a good question. First of all, I actually had a question about Big Papi. Do you think that the like life after baseball matters for the Hall of Fame? Because he's been a huge, like, you know, advocate for the sport and for the city and stuff since retiring.
I definitely think life after helps in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
When he joined the media, considering that's who has a large pull in the vote,
Yeah.
that really does help. Now that the guys that are voting are the people sitting next to you at work, and they actually know you on a personal level. Like, you know, you've gone to lunch together, you've gone to dinner, whereas everybody else, they're just kind of looking at what you've done over your career and what they've heard in the media or how interactions have been. It's different to sit with somebody after they've lost a major game or something like that, where emotions are running high, than on a random Tuesday going to get McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I picked
can
McDonald's.
agree with that. No, you just picked something safe and fun that everybody's eating. I think that you're right. I think you're onto something with the media. He's a member. It's their peer group, and they're going to like him. And they know him, a lot of these guys. So every little bit helps. And then some of these guys just disappeared after playing ball. And occasionally, you know, you see him on whoever picks up on them in the, you know, social media captures it. Somebody gets a picture. They see Barry Bonds walking out of a cafe, getting into a Maserati or getting into a Lamborghini or something like that. Or maybe somebody gets in his face, you know, with a camera, and maybe there's a shooting of the bird or pushing back or something like that. And that's all they see. And then, you know, or maybe there's a girlfriend situation. Maybe somebody calls the cops and he's maybe innocent, but yet you see some negativity on people. And you're right. It's easy to dismiss them, especially if they did steroids.
Right.
And that's the main thing.
That's what I was getting get at, is Barry Bonds, much like a lot of players of that era, suspected of using performance enhancing drugs, because that was the time, and maybe still is, who can say. But I think Barry Bonds didn't really do much to like garner any goodwill after the fact.
No,
So
he didn't. He wasn't a nice celebrity. He kind of had an attitude, and he was like, I'm the best of the best. And I know a guy played on the team with him, a friend of mine, and they said everybody else is sitting in their locker room, you know, sitting on their little, in their chair, right in their little locker. Barry is the only one, and it was in his contract to have a leather recliner. And that's what he sat in. So he was that
Wow.
kind of guy. He was that kind of guy. It's just who he is. He's
At
flashy.
the same time, Barry Bonds did kind of define an era of baseball. So it's kind of, even with the steroids, in some ways, he's kind of the guy that made the push for everyone to be doing steroids. So
I think I can argue that real quick. Mark McGwire was well before.
Oh, for sure.
Him. Sammy Sosa was before him.
They both deserved. All of those guys deserve to be in the steroid Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
See, that's the thing.
No, there can't be.
And
two.
You can't do that. You can't put an asterisk by it. Hank Aaron, way to go. Babe Ruth before you, way to go. Barry Bonds is the home run champion. Doesn't matter whether I like him or not. The guy hit those balls over the fence, and you knew that he was on steroids. The world knew it. Baseball knew it. They didn't kick him out. They didn't suspend him. They watched his head grow. His hat size grew. Everything grew. He went from the skinny guy to this. And then the same thing, you saw Mark McGwire's neck get bigger and bigger. And his son got heavier and heavier. And every time his son came out as bat boy, Mark could pick him up easier and easier. Sammy Sosa's running 22 miles an hour with an American flag in his hand on 9/11 into the outfield. And we applauded and loved him. Now you're hating on these guys. You knew they were doing it. They made the money. Baseball let them do it. They didn't stop it. So why are you stopping them now?
That's a really good point.
Baseball, they were the cash cow for baseball. Don't forget, baseball was kind of hitting a little bit of a lull before the home run chase. And then when the home run chase happened with McGwire and Sosa, the whole country was watching. I remember being a kid, and that was appointment television.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever those teams were playing, it was like, are they going to hit a home run today? You'd be watching something, and McGwire would come up to bat. They would cut whatever was on TV to go to that at bat so you could watch it on multiple stations.
Yeah,
to see if he was going to break the record.
Baseball's kind of a weird sport too, because it's super interesting when you know the like ins and outs of it. But like from a spectator point, if you're just a casual watcher, really the only thing you know is like, oh yeah, home runs. That's like the most exciting thing that can happen. So saying, oh well, we need to compete with football, which is way on the rise. The NBA has also taken a huge foothold with Michael stuff. Having something to compete with it, yeah, I think the fact they were pushing these guys so hard, maybe looking the other way when they were using steroids. I think
of course.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Baseball's known as a boring sport unless you're all in. It's not just a player sport, but a lot of people, we all played little league and my son's in little league now, but baseball is Americana. It is the one, it's America's sport, so to speak, even though it may not even have the viewing audience of the NFL, which I don't think it does. But when you look at baseball, you're right. It was boring. What made it exciting? Those guys, the way they looked in their uniforms. Look how they looked in the 50s and 60s. Baggy uniforms. Guys had guts. They had real jobs in the offseason. They were selling cars or owned a restaurant or had a plumbing company. And then they played baseball because they loved it. Well, these guys are specimen. They're all fit. Everything. The uniforms got tighter. We sold and marketed that whole look for a decade at least. And guys made records, and you can't take it from them. I'm sorry, you can't. If you'd have told Barry Bonds, all right, we noticed your neck's bigger and your body's bigger, and you're hitting the ball about 100 yards longer, yeah, we're going to have to suspend you. Okay, fine, but you didn't. And now he's got a record, and you dare put an asterisk next to it when he beat Hank Aaron out legitimate on home run record. You got to give it to him. You got to talk about it. Nobody does.
And a lot of people say Barry Bonds, like you were saying, he's a jerk. That was just how he was known during his career. He was a competitor. I think people mix those two up, being a jerk and being a competitor. Things that he did, if you were on his team and he noticed that a pitcher was tipping, okay, this is my slider pitch, and he rakes it out, he would have teammates come up to him in the dugout and say, hey, what did you notice on that made you think he was going to throw this? And he would know exactly what it is, and he would not even tell his teammates. And they asked him one time, why won't you tell your teammates or give them any help? And he said, I don't know. Next year, they might not be my teammate anymore. Why would I help them? He's a competitor.
There's something to be said for that, and I think I would have done it differently, but that is the way he did it. And a lot of these guys are super, super focused, and it's their business, and they handle it different. So not everybody's the nicest guy in the world. So you're right. I'm not hating him. He's not my kind of guy. I love old Hank Aaron. Who doesn't? But Barry Bonds has the record. Sorry. So you're right. The fact that they've been on it, been eligible for 10 years, and Poppy gets in after 5, at first year of eligibility, that's a little messed up. That's all. Sosa should be in. Bond should be in.
Well, Sosa just looks weird. So I don't know if you guys have Googled Sammy Sosa recently. I think they just don't want to. I don't want to look at him. And I'm a Cubs fan.
Yeah, he might look a little weird, but here's the other one. You want to talk about weird, and I think he's still got the same haircut. I think you got to put Pete Rose in 100%. I think the guy here's the deal with Pete Rose. Had he gambled for his team to lose as a manager, which means he would have been trying to get his team to lose, that's cheating. That's crap. Yes, you're locked out for life. But he was betting for his team to win, which is his job, to win. So if you're betting for your team to win, I'm okay with it. And I think the world should be okay with it.
That just shows you have faith in what you're doing.
Yes. He's like, I'm a badass. My team's going to win. I'm putting my wallet on it. But if you're betting for your team to lose, then you got him. But he never, ever did that. So that's another reason why I think he should be in. But
what about Andrew Jones?
Yeah, I knew he
only
was
got what 40-something% of the vote.
Yeah, he didn't get much. He should be in too, because you look at not just speed and batting, his glove. That's a golden glove all day. And he made baseball look effortless and easy. Some guys he reminds me of Michael Vick in football. Rarely do you see it, but certain people make their sport look easy because they make it look effortless. And it's like he was never really trying, and he was the best, and I don't have a problem with that dude. Yeah, he should have it for sure. He should be in.
Yeah. And his name shows up with Willie Mays and Ken Griffey Jr. That's who he's surrounded by when you discuss him and how he played his position and how he showed up to the game every day. And those guys, first ballot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm looking at the list, and obviously Barry Bonds, whatever, you can say all right, that's a Sammy Sosa. You can say these are snubs or these are whatever they are. And you might say, okay, there's an asterisk there because of the steroids. But I really feel like Roger Clemens should have been in, right? This feels like the biggest snub to me.
Yeah. I mean, same kind of rumors on him. I think it's just a part of that steroid era. I think a lot of these guys are purist. The only purist I ever see is the 65-year-old, 70-year-old, 3 rows behind me with a scorecard and a pencil, and might even have one ear in on a transistor radio. I'm like, he's the only one. The rest of us are a bunch of fake a-holes. We're here to drink beer. We're here on a date. We're here because it's sunny. We're watching a third of the game, and we cheer when somebody else cheers.
When the Jumbotron tells me to.
Exactly. And we're here for that dumbass tool race or the guy sprinting in the back.
Yes, I was about to say that. I'm there for the tools and the freeze.
Yeah.
Freeze.
Look, if the Home Depot bucket doesn't get put on the Hall of Fame ballot, I'm going to be pissed.
Fill the bucket all day. That's my guy.
Well, there you go. I think we've nailed it. Hopefully you agree, but we'll see where it goes. But it's definitely a conversation right now for any sports guys. So we just did our sports thing. Now I want to do a hip, cool thing on the Yeah Come On show. Again, special welcoming to Brandon, who we've worked with for years. Now he's on the podcast. He's no stranger to our hallways and radio. Brett Barney, I will give you credit for bringing Brando on. I'm like, who did you get? He goes, Brando. I'm like, Brando. Okay. Brandon, say your last name again. I'll get
Brandon
it.
Brandon it's really just B and then whatever Italian nonsense you want to put after.
Brandon Anicio.
Yeah, there you go.
Brandon Bunicio.
Close enough.
Luca Brandon Anicio deal. Whatever.
Very progressive of you guys to have an ital on your podcast, by the way.
Hey, dude, I'm getting credit for this. I'm looking for a ton of Italian people to join this thing. They're like, did you hear? Did you hear?
Yeah, this podcast is going to be huge with dudes who still wear pinky rings.
Thank you. I need a good pinky ring. A lot of people don't realize Brett has a tramp stamp. I'm not going to get into it. It's something he did in college. Don't show it. Don't ever show it. I know it's there. Leave it. Right now, we're going to get into a new segment involving you, Brandon. And this is kind of a hip thing, and it's like Brendan Anicio. So, Evan, you tell us, what is cool, what is not cool. If we ask you, you're going to know. How old are you, Evan?
I'm 28. I feel like I'm still in the know.
All right.
I'm maybe on the edge of not being it, but I'm still here for now.
Right.
Couple
Do you
years.
want to be called Evan or Brando?
Whatever you guys
The
want.
Because I know both names you've been called on air, so I didn't know where to go with you.
Brando's fine.
What do you want to call him, Brett?
I just call it. Well, Brando's fine. Yeah, because that's what I've usually heard you on air as Brando.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with Brando. So Brando, and this is actually, oh my God, it's Brett Barney's love child. He's like, I got an idea. Evan's cool. He gets it. Well, he's not cool, but he knows things that are cool. Okay, he just knows things. Let's ask him things. So I'm putting you on the spot, and
hit me.
We're gonna do it. So let's hit him, Brett. Mine is Snapchat. I don't understand it. I don't know if people still do it. It's disposable, which probably makes me old, but I've got a sister-in-law and a brother-in-law, Amanda's little sister. Everything's on Snapchat. Amanda's on Snapchat just to see her snaps, but it all goes away. Why do we do it?
Well, great question.
Which
so
makes me sound old as crap. I thought Snapchat was gone.
Oh, Steve, you would love Snapchat.
Gone.
Especially if back in the day, if Snapchat was around, you would be like all over it. Because what it is it's a messaging app where you send pictures that last for like 8 to 10 seconds, or at least are just temporary, and then they are gone. And it also has a chat feature, and it has a lot of the same like filters and stuff as Instagram or TikTok, whatever.
All right, now I got it. This is what girls, instead of like, I've got 3 dead blackberries over here that I can charge up and show you great boob pictures,
right?
And nude shots of girls I dated. A couple of them were sales girls too. I'm like, check it. But is that what it is? It's for nudity?
Generally, yeah. It's because there's no footprint, so sending a nude is safer. There's no record. You can screenshot it, but it tells the other person that you screenshotted it, so you kind of gotta like, you can't screenshot a lot, or else people are gonna get suspicious. Because I slipped.
Okay, if I send you a pee pic,
yeah,
and you screenshot it, now you got it.
I got it, but you've seen that I got it, and you can be like, okay, well, this guy's, he's snapping my peen pics. I'm not going to send this guy any more peen pics.
But now my peen pic's out there. What if my face was in it? I'm like,
well, that's a risk. That is a risk you take. It's on you.
you.
But technology has evolved, so it's less of a risk. Brett Favre would have been fine with Snapchat.
All right.
Yeah.
I just like to believe if Snapchat's going to erase it after 5, 6, 7 seconds, why not just have it for 1 second where there's no way anybody can screenshot it in time?
Well, because then you can't you can't get a good look at that peen pic.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help.
Okay. But it dipped out, and now it's coming back into popularity.
It's really not that hard.
I thought it was gone.
All right. It's really not that hard. You just open up the picture on the phone with your other phone or iPad ready, and then take a picture of your phone of the picture, and it's like a screenshot without anybody knowing. Come on, guys. Even I can get around this.
All right. So I'm
playing 3D chess.
So you have a burner phone just to take pictures of all the naughty pictures on your phone.
No.
Nice.
Why would I need that? I'm happily married.
So I don't know that you screenshot it because you didn't. You took a picture of a picture. Oh, you're having to explain over there. I see you talking to somebody off mic.
I was trying to find my water. I don't know if you saw me digging for it earlier.
Yeah, you're like, where's my water? Hey, sorry, I would never do that. This is just a stupid ass podcast. I would never
just for
do
jokes.
That. I'm just trying to be funny. I love you.
You ready to explain something to me, Evan?
Sure can.
By the way, if any listener needs something explained, you can always tweet the show. Hit us up on Instagram, either mine or Steve's personal socials, as well as the show's at the Yeah Come On Show, or email us, yeahcomeonshow@gmail.com. Evan, explain hentai.
Okay.
Obviously,
you just want him to explain
the
it.
One. Hentai. Oh my God. Okay. Hentai is pornography that is also like Japanese cartoons. Like picture of Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon, if that was also pornography. That's what hentai is.
Would that be including Speed Racer with his cool eyes doing pornography?
If Speed Racer, yeah. If he was doing porn, that would be hentai. And I picture he would make that same noise.
Oh yeah, and there'd be like, it's written like oof. Okay.
Yeah, so that would be hentai.
'Cause
There's
I
a
don't
lot.
ever want to see Speed Racer with both hands on the Mach 5. I don't want to see that. Brett, why are you laughing?
Because I knew this was a Kurt Schilling curveball he wasn't gonna hit.
So yeah, here's the thing about hentai though, is it's not quite
Oh.
like pornography here, right? It is a bigger deal. You know, like porn in the 80s, how it was like kind of a classic thing. There were like porn stars, conventions, award shows, etc.
Yeah, in
It's
the
still-
magazines, certain magazines were tasteful, certain ones weren't.
Right. It's kind of the
Was
same
hentai
thing.
like? Is it like Cherry magazine, the real naughty one, or something?
It's all around. It's all around. It's just the name. It's you know, a catch.
Is it Hustler? Is it Hustler?
It's
Is that what it
Hustler.
is?
It's Cherry. It's all of the above.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
just
It's
a
not
catch-all.
Playboy, is what you're saying. It's not Playboy.
It's a little Playboy. I just read it for the stories. That's why come I know so much about it.
He had me for a sick man. Way to go, Brett.
Yep.
I don't.
Now y'all know what hentai is.
I needed to know.
Yeah.
I did.
Just in case. Make sure you have safe search on if you Google it later.
No, I appreciate it. I just want to say I appreciate the way you hold your mic, Brett. I appreciate the way you hold your mic, and I twirl with mine. This show is moving. Look at us all move. Move it.
Ooh.
Move it. Yeah. The only way you can see it is if you're watching it on YouTube. But anybody that's listening to the podcast, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I like the addition to Evan. And we're trying to go a little quicker. These boys have things to do. I have things to do. Is there anything anybody would like to add before I end show 117?
Now, Brett, you got any more questions about hentai?
No, but I knew that was a good one. I think we need to make Evan give us a yeah, come on, and I think that should be a real
All right, we'll
deciding
close.
factor.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's hear how you do. Yeah, come on. There's different. I just before you do it, there's yeah, come on, which is
Ooh.
kind of like, yeah, man, like I just saw you jump off that rope in the lake, man. And then there's your race car driver winning. Yeah, come on. And then there's maybe you just had sex. You're like, yeah, come on. And then there's the quickie. If you just look at somebody and they're like, hey, you wanna go get a beer? Give them a quickie and go, yeah, come on. Different variations.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
I'm
wanna
trying to put myself there, doing a little acting.
just
here.
give me your standard.
Standard.
If you just want to say it, you're out with your friends and
Mhm.
you're having a good time and you just want to say hell yeah, but you say yeah, come on. How are you gonna say it?
Yeah, come on.
I give him a 7.9 first time. What do you
Not
think?
bad
Brett?
first time. 7.9. I'll tell you that's a passing grade right there.
Yeah, I'm probably in that 7.246 area. It's like double pie.
Okay.
Double pie.
All right, Brett. I agree with you. You know what? You're a hard case. I like you for that. You're a real man. You're a Carhartt man's who you are. That is Brett Barney, our co-host. That is Evan. What's Evan's title? Is he producer? Is he
Co-host? Coco.
Coco host. I like Coco
All right.
host.
Your co-host. And we just want to say thanks to our proud sponsors. Maybe you can bring one on, Brando.
I'm
Evan.
on the phone with an Olive Garden right now.
You get it.
You get a
son.
Fazoli's.
I'm calling all three of your names out. All right. JoeBees.com. You can call them at 877-356-32 or go to JoeBees.com. Get your bee pollen. I'm telling you, man, it makes a difference. OxygenFinancial.com with Ted Jenkins. Circle285.com for all your insurance quotes. That is house. That is car. You can bundle it. You might even need an umbrella because you got a trampoline. Trust me. Ridgeline Counseling, Dr. Dave Markwell, final sponsor. Especially love Dr. Dave, and he's a guy that can help out a lot of people, and he has. Those are our sponsors. This is the Yeah Come On Show.